Shabbat Shalom. My name is Risa Kirschner, and I am David's other daughter. I am thrilled, honored, and grateful to be here tonight on behalf of Brian and Allie, Jen, Ryan, Bela, and Asher to introduce our father and grandfather on this momentous occasion celebrating his retirement. This event would not be possible, however, without our mother, Yolanda, and tonight we celebrate her as well. Our father was able to do what he did because of our mom's constant support and help. While he was attending meetings, she was schlepping Jen and I to dance lessons and math tutors. While he was directing traffic on a holiday or supervising construction of an addition, our mom was helpful, patient, and frankly a saint. For over 50 years, they have been teamwork at its best, a true partnership. Tonight, we honor you as well, Mom, and we love you. When Allie attended nursery school and kindergarten, she had the opportunity to see our dad and Jen almost every day. She grew up thinking that this was normal, that everyone gets to go to school with their family. As she got older, though, she realized how lucky she was to have seen her papa every day at school. From a very young age, she had a glimpse of his commitment to this congregation. Our father is the model by which we have lived our lives. He is led by his example in everything he does and who he is. He is the hardest working person we know, running his own real estate business while simultaneously devoting his time to this congregation. He taught us what it means to be kind and generous, giving both of his time and money without the expectation of anything in return. For over 40 years, we have watched his dedication and commitment to this temple, to this community, and to Judaism. There has been tremendous growth in the building and membership over the years, and our dad's devotion to temple's success and longevity has never wavered, helping to ensure that the generations of our family that come after us will benefit from this amazing congregation. You will not find a better mensch, father, and grandfather. Jen and I try our best to live by the example he set, lessons that we now pass on to our own children. Sorry. It is incredible to honor him tonight in this magnificent facility that he helped build in front of the congregation he loves and to which he has dedicated his life. It doesn't get any better than this. Dad, we love you and admire you. We are so extraordinarily proud of you. We congratulate you on this tribute tonight and on your more than well-deserved retirement. Mazel tov.
In Exodus chapter 25, verse 8, God tells the people of Israel, "Make a sanctuary for me so that I can dwell among you." I admit that I skipped more than my share of classes at United Hebrew Schools. But somewhere along the line, I must have heard this verse, and it embedded itself in my mind and in my heart. You might say I took it a little too seriously, as I have been here for roughly 45 years in basically every capacity short of clergy. But one of my daughters is a rabbi, and the other a lawyer who has been a Hebrew and bar mitzvah tutor. So I dabbled in that too by association. It's a little known fact that Temple Israel has its own gravitational pull. Once you are in its orbit, there is no getting out. So beware if any clergy member comes up to you and innocently says, "I think you should become more involved in Temple." Trust me, I would know. But 45 years later, I can wholeheartedly say that that is a good thing. My work here was greatly influenced by the spirit of Rabbi Fromm, Rabbi Syme and Cantor Orbeck, all of blessed memory. Neither Yolanda nor I were raised in the Reform movement, but when the time came to put our youngest into preschool, we chose Temple Israel, as it did not exist for our eldest when she was ready to go. Jennifer has her diploma from the Temple Israel Early Childhood Center in her office, with signatures from Bryna and Doris of blessed memory. Temple always chooses the best people to take charge of its programs. Bryna wouldn't come to Temple Israel to begin a school without Doris, and together they built the premier Jewish preschool in the Detroit Jewish community. But even more, they brought their fun, their humor, and incredible work ethic to the rest of us. We had such a good time back then, the early 80s. We were all working so hard to build and grow Temple Israel, each in our own way. But even when the work was difficult and the hours were long, we still had so much fun. Over nearly 5 decades, I got to know generations of families in partnership with the rabbis and the cantors, and saw so many of them through life cycle events. Some families have been here as long as I have, and some much longer. It is the longevity of the careers of those who have served Temple Israel that makes us stand out. I am not the only staff member who has spent decades here. I am just one of the oldest. Do you know what other rabbis call Temple, the rabbis of Temple Israel? They call us the firm. You know, the book, the movie? No rabbi has ever left to serve another congregation. It speaks volumes about Temple. To have rabbis who serve only one congregation for their entire careers just doesn't happen. And without contracts. Did you know that part also? I love going to conventions and sharing those details with other executive directors. Once their jaws returned from the floor, they would ask, "How did you accomplish that? How do your rabbis sit with the executive committee at meetings and vice versa? How did you all get on the same page? Are they friends with one another?" It was such a phenomenon that Rabbi Loss and I became our own 2-man roadshow. We traveled the country teaching other congregations how we could create a place where rabbis stay for 52 years, 38 years, 30 years, 25 years, 20 years, and 13 years respectively. And the cantors, 21 years each. Congregations around the country wanted to know what we were doing. What Harold and I found was that it was too difficult to boil it down into a presentation. What we realized was that it was all about the people, the staff, the clergy, the executive committee, the board of trustees, and of course, the members. There was a trust and mutual respect between all of these groups. We all had Temple's interests, best interests at heart. We were all working hard towards the same goal, to build a house where God could dwell, where our children could play and grow, where our teens felt safe, and where wedding couples came to begin their married lives together, and where mourners found shelter. We all had a hand in building that house, and it was always a labor of love. Now, we did have a good time and always put our hearts into everything that we did, but that doesn't mean it was always easy. There are a lot of clergy, a lot of staff, and a lot of you, and only one of me. It reminded me of a beautiful little story that I often thought about and that I believe is true in the Jewish world. Some of you, I'm sure, have already heard it. It goes like this. President Nixon is meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Golda Meir. Before the meeting is over, he starts to tell her about how hard his job is. So many people to please. There are so many different kinds of problems to solve and so many people to help. After going on for some time, he looks at Golda and he says to her, "Now do you see why my job is so hard?" She waits a moment, turns her head a bit, makes a small smile, and answers Nixon, Mr. President, you may be the president of 250 million people, but I am the president of 5 million presidents. And so goes the answer to what my job has been about. And because we as a congregation have enjoyed so much success over the years, I want to thank everyone who helped me through the past 45 years. I want to thank the rabbis and the cantors, who I saw as partners and my friends. It was not always easy to get a consensus from all 9 of them, but somehow, sometimes, I was able to accomplish it. That also might be why I'm entirely gray. In everything we did together, you always made me look good. There wasn't a moment I wasn't proud to say, yes, that is my rabbi and my cantor. You have been my partners, my friends, and also my rabbis. You have seen my family through tragedies and also many simchas. I love each one of you, and thank you so much. To every member of our staff, including the ECC, Jason Plotkin, y'all, the religious school, maintenance, security, building managers, and our amazing office staff, you have also always made me look good. Even though I admit that sometimes I like to pop in before an event and take a last look to ensure everything was going as expected. I never really had to worry, though, knowing that the best people were doing their jobs. There is no staff like ours. Thank you to Betty Palumbo, I hope she's here someplace, for feeding me multiple times a week for decades, and her mother of blessed memory, Irma, of blessed memory before her. I have loved getting to know your family as they have joined you here. You're like the sister I never knew I wanted. And I have loved sharing those years with you. To the men and women I have shared the executive round table with at committee and staff meetings, we built this congregation together one Tuesday morning at a time. Each of you shared the same dedication and determination to ensure Temple Israel was strong enough to be here for our children, our grandchildren, and our great-grandchildren. It has been an honor to serve with you. To Andy Bachnick, our current president, and the current executive committee, thank you for allowing me to transition to a different status. I'm still having trouble with the word retire. And making me feel so comfortable in the process. To all of the past presidents that I have had the good fortune to work with, your steadfast commitment to Temple is an amazing testament to who you are. To all of the wives and the husbands of those past presidents, I thank you for your unwavering support you gave your spouse. For some of you, that meant a 14-year commitment to our congregation's future and agreeing to welcome 10,000 people into your family. I feel so lucky to have raised my family with you and grown this temple with you. And I know we will continue to be in each other's lives as we hand Temple over to the next generation. Risa and Brian Kirschner, Marcy and Mark Grossman-Lempert, who chaired this event, thank you for the incredible time and effort put forth on my behalf. Today is a day I will not soon forget, and it is in large part due to your efforts. Cassie Cohen, my protege, my colleague, and my friend. She has been the go-to person at Temple for the entire operation for today, and its success is in no small measure due to her efforts. Eric Groh, whose special talents made tonight and every other event come off so well. To family and friends who have traveled here to help us celebrate, I so much appreciate it. To my wife, Yolanda, thank you for sharing me with Temple Israel. There were so many nights I was at meetings, overseeing building projects, leading trips, and more. You have been steadfast in your support of anything and everything I have set out to do here. You cheered me on and often cared for our girls by yourself so I could attend just one more meeting or to ensure every detail was perfect. You have also put your heart and soul into this place with me, being a Sunday school and early childhood teacher. and I am a lucky man to have shared this experience with you, and I love you. To Risa and Jennifer, what can I say? As a Jewish parent, you raise your children hoping that they embrace Judaism and learn from your example. At 77 years old and 45 years into working for this congregation, I feel confident that Yolanda and I believe that we have succeeded. You both have committed to Temple Israel and the future of the Jewish people. Now you and your husbands, Brian and Ryan, are providing an example for your children, our grandchildren, Allie, Bela, and Asher, and I could not be prouder. Thank you both for telling me that you have always been proud of being my daughter when someone hears your last name. Not many teens know when their congregation's budget season came about, but mine did because I would disappear for weeks. Thank you for always supporting the work that was so important to me. Well, what can I say? 45 years have gone by quickly. I look back at what we have accomplished, and I am content, and I am grateful, and I am hopeful for our future, and I am proud. Knowing that the new permanent play space will be called the Tisdale Family Play Space is a wish come true for our family. It takes my time here full circle. We began looking for a place for our young children to grow and learn. Now other families with young children will have a new and permanent place to play. And because of that, they will hopefully always associate Temple Israel with fun, joy, and happiness. And hopefully one day in the future, one of our rabbis will pull some of them aside and say, I think you should become more involved. And the cycle will continue. In 45 years, I have made it my business to know every corner, every faucet, every brick, and every window of this building. I have also tried my best to get to know every face and every name. Every step of the way has been an honor. No one person is responsible for all of Temple's accomplishments. I hope that when people look back on my tenure here, they believe that I contributed to making a difference at Temple Israel. Thank you, and Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you.